One. All right. We are back with another edition of the Scotty No Show. This is our first edition of the new year. I am your host. I am Hill City's Ranger, Scotty Millard. That is Lyman's Raider, Ian Muirhead. Ian, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Lyman's Raider. It's a title held for a specific few. So
Yes.
Rory McManus and now Ian Muirhead.
I'm sure we will get to that. But first, it's been a couple of weeks. How was your holidays?
Interesting, man. First, I want to preface by saying straight A's in my grad school classes.
Oh,
So
damn.
yeah, so it was a little stressful at the time, but we got there. So we're we're 11 credits into it now, so it's 30 credits total, I believe. Holidays were good. Went to Kansas City, made a bunch of cookies. Rains pretty much the whole time I was there. Flew back, got boned by that blizzard. So we got on the flight on the way back. Well, I got on the flight back
What
from Denver to
what,
Rapid.
what was the reason for Kansas City?
Lady friend.
Ah, yes.
So I got to the Kansas City airport, and the Chiefs were busy blowing the Raiders that particular game, and so we got in. Flew into Denver. I flew into Denver,
Yep.
and had just a bunch of Chiefs fans in Denver airport. So we were all wearing Denver jerseys, by the way. So I kind of book it to the plane, and we get on, and I get bumped to first class.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked. Like I've always wanted to go first class. I've toyed with getting it a few times, but I don't want to like wreck it for myself because I know once I do it, I'm gonna do it every time. So I got bumped to first class. I'm like getting comfy, and the doors close, and the stewardesses start going through their little spiel like, don't, there's a life vest under your seats, don't put your oxygen mask on the kid before yourself. And then the door opens again, and it's like, well, that's not supposed to happen. And this skinny little shit comes on the plane. It's like, I'm so sorry. Because of something with the de-icer, we're not going to be able to bring the plane back from Rapid. So we're going to have to cancel the flight. Again, we're so sorry, and Merry Christmas. And some lady behind me just goes, fuck you. And I'm flying back on Christmas, by the way. So so I book it off the plane, and they're like, you can get to the terminal and you will figure it out there. But I knew I was gonna like I could have made it before the storm hit if I had gone then, but I wasn't gonna make it back on any other flight. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can, rent a car, either that or I'm gonna get airport drunk for 2 days straight. And
Nice.
my buddy, I had a friend that was actually on the same flight as me that I didn't know was going to be on there, and he rented a car, so we drove back through the blizzard. Um, and then yeah, I just kind of hung out, weathered the storm on the 26th, and then New Year's was pretty chill. I hung out with a few friends, and that was it.
All right. All right. Um, I'm sure you're probably wondering how basketball went.
Well, I was going to ask how your Christmas was, or how your holidays were.
They were all right. I mean, I worked on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, so
You get double pay for that.
time and a half, I think.
Okay, well, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Was it busy?
Somewhat. I worked New Year's Eve, but not New Year's Day, so that was good.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, not much of anything really happening. I didn't really get anything for Christmas because I bought all my Christmas presents.
Damn, I was gonna ask, what'd you get?
Mom got me some pants and some Fast and the Furious socks. And then I got a whole bunch of like hot sauce and barbecue sauce and ketchup and candy, and that was it essentially.
Stuff for crunchy critiques, man. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Nice. So I
And
didn't get that much either. I got a golf club.
are you a golfer?
I'm toying with it. It's kind of, I went to the driving range, about a dozen times this summer. Played one round. Not very good, but I'm getting into it.
Okay. But before that, I mean, we haven't had a thing since my basketball game that I played in.
Yeah.
Um, first
So
of all,
tell us about that. I mean, I kind of know a little bit based on your statuses, but
I was put on the old person's team.
well,
As
yeah,
a
because you're not in school anymore.
Well, neither is anybody on the other side. I mean, that
Oh,
yes,
I thought it was students versus alumni.
no. This was like all alumni. The other team had a bunch of 20 to like 19-year-olds. And then also my good buddy Josh Robinson, who was in the same class as me but was on the younger team.
Okay.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, flip a coin, I guess.
Yeah, but I got to play with a lot of uh great alumni. Um, some a couple I knew and a couple I didn't know. Got to play with my old JV coach that, full disclosure, I didn't like when I
So
played for him.
do you still like him or still not like him?
He's all right. I mean, we're all old, but like he was trying to, you know, tell me where to be in the zone. And I'm like, God damn it, it's 2007 all over again.
Yeah. So let's start with this. Did your team win?
No,
How many
technic
points did
te
you score?
two. You saw them both.
I saw them both. Yep. I knew that anyway, but for the listeners that don't have you on Facebook,
Yes,
and by
yes,
listeners, I mean maybe two people.
yes.
So
I had two turnovers as well.
what?
Yeah.
Dog shit. What happened?
I don't know. I was doing my best Trevor Lawrence, I guess.
Hurting your shoulder, getting
Yeah.
stepped on by your big fat lineman, slow in the season.
Um yeah, and also a very funny occurrence is we all decided to do layup lines, and I don't know if you've ever done a layup line, but when you're
Never done
in
that kind of line.
when you're when you're in basketball, that's typically how you warm up. And of course, when you play a lot of basketball, layup lines are a breeze. You do that, you do, a three-man weave, things like that. Um, but when you're in your 30s, you get like 20 seconds into a layup line and you're like, okay, can we stop? Can we
Yeah,
not do this anymore?
because you're tired.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. And because it was like such a high elevation, like you forget how much air you have to expend at that high of an elevation.
That's something I forget. Like I'll go hiking with people from like back home, like family and stuff, and like we'll go up here somewhere and they're sucking wind. It's something you forget about.
Oh yeah. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. My hotel that I stayed at, because I'm not the kind to sleep on anybody's couch anymore.
Sure,
I'm just not. But
sure.
the hotel I stayed at didn't have a fridge or a microwave.
Where'd you stay?
The Super 8.
Super great.
Yeah, but
I
mainly
stayed there.
ma
It's not
mainly
bad.
mainly because that's the only one I could find on hotels.com.
Sure.
Excuse me. And I got to reconnect with my old high school basketball coach, Coach Gardner, and got to play NBA Jam against his son. I lost on a buzzer beater to a 9-year-old.
Well, it happens.
Yeah. Damn Charles Barkley, I tell you.
Gnarls. I like Gnarls Sparkly. That make me crazy.
And then yeah, I came back home and didn't really do much. Um
So how much training did you do for this game?
about an hour and a half in the actual basketball gym. And then
Like just shooting around?
yeah, just shooting around,
Okay.
which actually helped, I think, because it honed in my how I shoot and stuff. But then at like working out and doing running and stuff like that, maybe 3 weeks.
Did you do your push-ups?
No, I didn't. But like wait,
Because I think you owe me 60.
I did before like the day before I drove out there, I did 300 squats and like 100 push-ups, I think.
Oh, okay.
That was just with my trainer. That sucked. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Um so do we just want to get into the topics?
I mean, if you want to.
All right. Do we dare rip the band-aid off right away?
I mean, if you want, like there's a bunch of stuff that we
Uh,
can talk about.
all right. I will ask you this from your perspective. How was the Mid-Dakota Monster?
So I just did the commentary for most of it. I was in the booth with Casey, a little bit with Bryce. Um, didn't have to do any coaching. I ran a table for about 2 matches just to relieve someone so they could go to the bathroom or whatever. But that, I mean, that was it. And ultimately, I thought it went really well. It was day one went fast. Day two was a little bit long.
Okay.
There's a lot of good wrestling. Um, Lyman had a champion, which hasn't happened since 2020. So it's been a little bit there.
Who would that have been?
That was my brother.
Oh, okay.
And then before that, I think it was Cole Shelsky, and then I think it was Jordan Jessup, and then it was my senior class. So there haven't been many champions at the Monster in about a 12-year period.
Okay.
So it's always a pretty big deal when someone even gets to the finals, let alone knocks off the number one kid ranked in the A's. So,
Yeah.
and considering Rory wasn't even ranked, so it was really exciting for us up in the booth. We got to watch a lot of really good matches between classes, between ranked kids. So
Between
um,
states too.
yeah, between state, yeah, and O'Neill, Nebraska had a really solid team as well. I think they finished in the top 5 or 6. So yeah, ultimately from my standpoint, it was a pretty good Monster. Day two went a little bit long, but we didn't really take that many breaks. It's just that the girls tournament got thrown in there,
Yep.
and the guys were moving faster than the girls. So that was where the hang up was there. But ultimately, I enjoyed my time there. It was really good for me to go home because I didn't make it back for the holidays.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I had a good time.
Um before I before I get into my kind of issues with some of the things, which it's not a big deal anymore. I'm over it. Um who is this junkyard dog character?
Junkyard Dog is Parker Wilson from T, and he wrestles like J Dog or Justin Cook from my team back in the day, where he'll like bury himself in a hole, and then he'll come back and get a pin. And so it's like there was a match. I think he was down to a Bennett County wrestler who is very technically solid, but he ran out of gas a little bit in the third period, and Junkyard Dog came back and beat him after being down by like 12. So, and if you're getting beat by 15, the match ends. So, he didn't have a lot of room for error, but, just no quit in him. It seems like a strategy sometimes is I'm going to wear the other kid out and then I'll make my move in the last 2 minutes.
Kind
So
of kind of a rope-a-dope kind of thing.
kind of a rope-a-dope, a little bit Rocky 3. I was commentating on this kid last year. And the T area Titans sit in front of the booth, and they have a really good, like, I don't know, viewership. They have a good turnout at the tournament, but a lot of people from T watch because they got kids or grandkids in the tournament.
Yep.
And I feel like most of our watchers were from T last year, and we just got flooded with Junkyard Dog comments, and the guys in front of us just. He came back in the third period and won a match last year, and everyone in front of us just like, yeah, Junkyard Dog, and they're looking at me just like, Junkyard Dog, and I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool, I like this. But so yeah, so I had the pleasure of talking with him a little bit. He's not trying to get beat by 12. That's not actually a strategy, but
No.
whatever works for him.
Yeah. And maybe this is just me from like my perspective from dealing with T people, both in the high school ranks and when I was in college, because I roomed and I knew quite a few T people. T people are awesome.
I've always got along really well with T folk. I Some of my best friends from wrestling in high school were from T. I have a T area Titans shirt,
Really?
from their wrestling club. Yeah, so I don't know that it'll fit me anymore, but
Okay.
I mean, I could get it on. It's just, kind of a belly shirt now,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I've always got along really well with T. Tommy Walling's sister Kendra, her husband is one of the T coaches.
Really?
So yeah, Josh, and he's really, really solid dude. And I've always, got along well with Kendra, and I love Tommy. So, yeah, just, and wrestling's a small sport anyway. So, one of the things I liked when I was in high school was getting support from other schools, because Lyman didn't always have the most fans. So that's something I just try to pay back.
So my issues weren't necessarily with the fact that it was pay-per-view.
So let's get into that right now.
Yeah. Because I knew that the pay-per-view was like the money was going to the school. My issue was with the timing of people being alerted that it was pay-per-view.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I didn't know until the day before
Until I
either.
told you.
Well, Bryce told me the day before, and then I forgot, and then you told me again, and I'm like, oh damn. But yeah, so it was a good. I don't know how much money the club made. I talked with the powers at B. They weren't sure at the time. They might know now, but
Okay.
as of Saturday night when the tournament was concluded, they weren't sure. But and about 70% of the pay-per-view went into the program. So that's nice. I think, and I've talked a little bit with Chad a little, and maybe if we can get like codes or something that you can just input into the computer, because nobody really likes dealing with subscriptions or cards or emails. That, and it got a lot of people, it gave a lot of people some trouble. And also, just, I feel like the majority of the people that are watching this are, grandparents, older aunts and uncles, family members who aren't that great with technology anyway. I got a fucking colonoscopy kit delivered to my house because the previous tenant didn't change her address on her computer. So I didn't use it. I wanted to. The girlfriend didn't let me.
But
But yeah. Anyway, this week's sponsor is Cologuard. Is your
Oh my
asshole
god.
okay? Check it out with Cologuard. You shit in a box and you mail it in.
And if you take Ozempic, your butthole is going to be purple. Just
Do
ask
you
Joe.
like eating? Do you like eating bald eagles and butt bumping with your sister? Cologuards.
But yeah, I mean, I've apologized to both Chad and Blaine for my comments on that. And
Well, and like I totally get where you're coming from. I was not as fired up as you. My dad probably was.
oh yeah,
Um, so it kind of sucked. Um, just that it came out of left field for some folks.
yeah,
And I'm one of them too. I didn't know anything about it. Um, I'm not involved with the program really
yeah.
um anymore, sadly.
The
But
the the issue that I also had was I had peer people coming up to me in the store while I was working, asking me what the hell was going on.
so
So,
I guess like what was your response? Did you fire him up? You gaslight him?
no, I told them what Darcy and Chad both told me, and that was that that tournament is expensive to put on, and they needed some funds, and
It
it
is very
is.
expensive. And one of the things too, and I don't know if this is because the girls' tournament is that weekend too, but the refs doubled the price. So now the refs are, refing two tournaments same weekend. They're getting double the matches. So I understand where the refs are coming from for doubling their price. I think that's fair and justified. I understand why the club is charging money for it. And honestly, I think it was a matter of time before we went to this anyway. And not like us as in the wrestling program or the wrestling club. I think uh, when it's streamed on YouTube, it's completely free to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to drive. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to pay admission at the door.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely free. And as much as I love that, it was only a matter of time before that went away and people started charging for stuff. You posted something today. The Hanson Classic is doing the same thing.
It, I
So,
was just about to get
which
into that.
it again, it sucks, and I'm sad to see the free streaming go, but I understand not giving away something for free either.
Yeah, but the thing is I can see this for tournaments, but if you do it for individual games, like a random like Stanley County playing like Cheyenne Eagle Butte on like a Tuesday,
Right.
people aren't gonna
And
people aren't gonna accept that.
and I agree with you. Um, I think at some point it's going to turn into something like when you get your athletic pass, you're paying for basically the live ticket to these games. And so maybe live tickets a little bit cheaper than an athletic pass if you don't plan on going in person to any of the games. And I don't want to jinx it or foreshadow it, but I think it is only a matter of time before you do have to start paying for this. And you probably get the season free or the whole season once you paid for it. But I don't know how much longer, you're going to be able to just check out a grandson Timmy
Yeah.
play basketball.
And full disclosure, I also just don't like live ticket.
I don't blame you. I'm not a huge fan of it either.
Well,
I,
like,
I,
let me clarify that a little bit. I enjoy the fact that all these games are streamed. I don't like some of the things. And one more thing with the 605 Sports story that was done on, announcing this. They said that the Mid-Dakota Monster was their first wrestling tournament of the season.
yeah,
What the hell was the Stanley County Invitational then?
was that also a live ticket? I didn't
Yes,
think that. Oh, okay. I thought that was streamed on YouTube.
it was streamed on YouTube, but that's a lot like Go Buffs Live is under the live ticket banner.
Oh, I guess I don't know then. I know Go Buffs live ticket, all that stuff goes through. Brozick in winter.
Yep.
I guess I don't really know how that works, but I
Yeah.
think it is like the first. I think it was the first pay-per-view event, which
Okay.
again isn't necessarily. Uh, I didn't necessarily love that because I don't want to set a precedent.
Yeah.
I don't want every tournament to be pay-per-view.
I can see
And
I can see it for regions.
well, that goes into a whole different thing because the state, you know, the state. I don't think the state's supposed to do that.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm just speaking out loud, and like this is not accurate, and we'll get into that in the draft too. But you know, I don't know that because the state would make all the money, right? The
You would
school
think.
makes the money from the concessions, but the admissions that all goes to the state.
I have no idea. We know we need to talk to an athletic director on this.
Sure, but well, I think like the postseason stuff. I think most of the income goes to the state's athletic association, so
Okay.
STHSAA. I
Yeah.
think.
And I will say this also, live ticket is partially responsible. And the fact that I had to stream stuff on GoGov's Live for the season and a half that I did, um they're responsible for me being on antidepressants partially. So
Yeah, and you're not the only one. My dad did. He's not on antidepressants, but he hated being in charge of the live stream
yep.
for linemen. And he thought he was gonna get something, and it never showed up. So he had a very bad taste in his mouth. Which again, I think that's part of why he was as fired up as you were about the live ticket thing. Just a bad experience with the product.
Yeah. Like I I do like the people of winter to an extent, but there's some I don't. I'm just gonna say that.
Sure. And like I totally get like making it a pay-per-view event. I do say I will say the locals weren't real enthused about it. Um
I was just
I
gonna
just think
I was just gonna
like
say, what did you talk to any of the people at the bowling alley or any of the sponsors or anything?
I didn't talk to any sponsors directly. And the bowling alley folks were mostly at the tournament.
Okay.
But just from like a morale standpoint, you're relying a lot on volunteer work. Maybe throw them a bone.
Yeah.
You give them a day pass to live ticket or something. And
Yeah.
that's not on Chad. That's not on Lyman
No.
Wrestling Club. That I don't even know if live ticket can do that. I just know it would be cool to throw a lifeline to the people that have supported the tournament.
Um, so now that that's been ripped off, let's get into the NFL playoffs. Who do you think's gonna win it all this year?
Um, I think it might be the 49ers.
I do not think so, but
You
that's just
don't think so? I think
because of the
I
Kirk
think
Cousins theory.
oh sure. Well, I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC. I think they advance. And then for the AFC, boy, I don't know. I really don't. I could see it being Cleveland.
I can too, honestly. Joe
Um,
Flacco was on a run that
yeah.
only Joe Flacco can be on.
Well, we haven't seen a late career run like this. I don't know, since Kurt Warner
Yep.
when he was with the Cardinals.
Carson
And
Palmer.
yeah, so I love it. I'm not a Cleveland fan. In fact, I hate Cleveland. I don't hate the
Why?
Browns. I just hate the town Cleveland.
Why?
It's a shithole.
I've heard Cleveland is underratedly nice, sort of like another Detroit.
Well, when I was there, I thought it was a dump.
Okay.
So, um, I I could see it being Cleveland, and if they do make it, I wouldn't even be mad. I couldn't name you one player on that team besides Joe Flacco.
Well,
Like
Nick
Kareem Hunt's not on it anymore, right? Nick Chubb.
He's injured.
Um, yeah. So like I know a bunch of hurt people.
Deshaun Watson, he's injured. Who's that? Is Amari Cooper there? I think Amari Cooper's
Oh,
there.
Amari Cooper is there, and I drafted him when he was a rookie on my fantasy team. I always liked him, and
Yeah.
he had bad luck on teams. He was the third receiver at Dallas when he was there. He was on Oakland and he had some success there, but Oakland just like ultimately from this season, I got the idea. It's like Derek Carr might
Oh,
not be good at all.
I know one player on the Browns that you probably should know.
Chad Henne.
No.
No, he's Kansas City.
Oh shit. Well, what's his name? He Miles Garrett.
Oh, is he still there? The
Yeah.
guy that killed
Mason Rudolph,
yeah.
who is having a resurgence of himself for himself. Too bad TJ Watt, the perpetually injured one, is injured again. But
Yeah. Um and I think the Bills survived that matchup. Um
do you think it's a
yeah,
do you think it's a magical year for for the Harbaugh family and the Ravens win another Super Bowl?
no, I don't think so. I think they look really good, but I don't know that that's the team this year. I
I
like Lamar Jackson, but I'm not a believer that he's going to win a Super Bowl.
I don't think that Miami. I think Miami's like what my guy Mark Titus likes to call they're a finesse bitch team. They play well against the really shitty teams, like Denver, but you get them
But
up
they
like
came back too. They came back in the season. They had a resurgence.
yeah, but then they decide to bench Russell Wilson at like the worst time.
Yeah, well,
Who
Sean Payton got a Sean Payton.
which funny thing about Russell Wilson, he's probably done in Denver. He has more bathrooms, 12, than he had wins as a Denver quarterback. 11.
Yeah, you can shit all day with 12 bathrooms.
Yeah.
That's what Lil Wayne said.
Yeah. Um yeah, what the hell happened to your Jaguars?
Should have just sat Lawrence for a couple of weeks instead of trying to keep pigeonholing him in and then pulling him midway through the game. So you dropped a game to the Bengals, you dropped one to the Browns. You came
Who
back, you beat the Texans, but ultimately just and Christian Kirk was hurt
okay.
and Ridley just wasn't as effective as they thought he was going to be. He had some moments,
He
but
was really good early in the season.
yeah, and about like the 2/3 mark in the season, he had some decent games, but yeah, ultimately they just fell apart. They imploded. And I know a lot of people are blaming Lawrence. I don't love Lawrence. I want to, but I think ultimately that one came on the offensive play calling. So I would really like to see them fire the offensive coordinator. They
Okay.
fired the defensive one, which I think that's fair too. Their defense was pretty lackluster in moments, but I remember watching a couple of the first games of the season, and it's a bunch of like little dump passes, for about 2 yards. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not
I
working.
I I,
Lawrence either overthrows him every time, or they pick up 2 yards and they punt on fourth.
I do have a controversial take, and uh this is something that I've gotten a little bit of a flack over. Um I really like this Dallas Cowboys team.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook that she posted that. I think the Cowboys are going to cowboy. If I was a betting man, I'd bet on the Packers to beat them.
I wouldn't, but
Well, you hate the Packers. I hate
yeah,
both
that's true.
teams.
Well, can I give you a reason to root for the Cowboys?
Sure.
I mean, given you could kind of do the same thing on the Packers side, I mean Tucker Kraft, but uh Jake Ferguson, the tight end for for the Cowboys.
Boys.
Yeah, you know his cousin,
Tony?
Nick.
Tony Ferguson?
Nick.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
So
yeah, it's Tony Ferguson's a UFC fighter. I don't know him.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
you know, and I'm not picking teams based on that.
I'm not either,
Uh
but
I just hate the Cowboy. I work with a Cowboys fan, and he's the most just biased. Like the Cowboys can do no wrong. I said he was talking about the Cowboys Detroit game 2 weeks ago or whatever, and I'm just like they gave the refs gave him that
yeah,
game.
they
They
did.
fucked it up.
Yeah, they
He's
did.
like, wow, the players should have double checked. And I'm like, well, no. The ref had the responsibility of like getting the number.
Yeah.
I'm sure the guy told them who's checking in.
Well, he told him
So
before the game that that's what they were probably going to do, I think. Dan Campbell did.
yeah. Well,
Um,
according to Dan Campbell.
yeah.
Ultimately, though, I fucking hate the Cowboys because I work with a Cowboys fan. I'm pulling for the Packers, which I hate Packers fans too.
And finally, and there's probably somebody that we forgot to talk about. Sorry, Kansas City. Um, but yeah, I'm not interested in the Kansas City Chiefs winning any more games. Just go off and date pop stars, Kansas City. Just
Dude, you have a Taylor Swift calendar. Why do you have that if you're so uninterested in Kansas City? I feel like you would like them.
I know it's I'm joking around here. Come on.
You are kind of joking, but you're also sort of coming from a normal
But
standpoint.
if I am the Detroit Lions, and this is the first division championship I've won since 1993, and with first home football game, playoff game since 93, and the person that comes into my house is an old friend by the name of Matthew Stafford, I am scared shitless.
I think that's the most intriguing game of this first week because of the Goff Stafford trade.
Yep.
So Goff gets traded to the Lions, which at the time suck ass,
Yep.
while Stafford finally gets off the shitty Lions team and goes and wins the Super Bowl with the Rams. So there's I don't know if it's bad blood. I've never heard a Detroit fan talk any shit about Stafford.
They love him there, I think.
Yeah. But like from a player's perspective, I feel like that's gonna be fascinating to watch Stafford and
Yeah.
Goff go at each other.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be the most fun game, but I'd like to see the Lions win, but that Rams team is dangerous.
I really like Puka Nakua.
Puka Nacua.
I really like him.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked him in Crash Bandicoot. So
um um while we were off, a whole lot of college football happenings happened. Including the Pop Tarts Bowl. No, that was not me. Um Getting fed Pop Tarts by the Pop Tart mascot.
can you pull that up? I don't remember. You know how to do that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You did
I
that.
Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. All right. But
Yeah, you do that. And I'll go to our next sponsor. Are you having trouble sleeping? Try sleeping in a bed, you fucking idiot. Get Casper mattresses. Use code Scotty Knows for negative 10% off Casper mattresses. You can pay more than it's worth, and you'll sleep just the same in another bed.
okay. I'm looking on Google. I don't want to look on my own personal because that's way too far down. I cannot find the guy uh being fed Pop Tarts by the Pop Tart mascot.
Jamie, pull it up.
But
Jamie, pull that up.
I wish I could, but that would take too long, and we've already gone fairly long. I mean, but that was an interesting scene where the Pop Tart mascot went into the toaster and then came out as an edible Pop Tart, and then all the people at Kansas State were eating the Pop Tart.
Dude, this goes right back into the pay-per-view thing, though. Everything's about money now. It's a capitalist economy. The bowl games, like no one gives a shit. Florida State didn't play anybody. There's all
No,
these new bowls that just came out of nowhere because companies are throwing money at them. And yeah, I know. Also, I like wonder who was doing the matchmaking on some of these. Why the hell did Oregon play
Liberty? I have no
Liberty?
idea. I
Who
have no,
thought that was a good game?
that was terrible. That was a terrible idea.
That was such a yeah, it was such a poor idea.
Yeah. In the was that the Fiesta Bowl?
Uh
It was
I
some
don't
like
know if it's the Fiesta Bowl anymore, but I think it was the Fiesta Bowl.
that the once proud Fiesta Bowl having Liberty play against Oregon. That's a horrible idea.
It's the Manscaped Bowl.
Yeah. Congratulations to Michigan. Um, they won a national championship and retired Nick Saban.
Is that official? Did he officially
Yes,
retire?
yes,
Okay. Well, he's pretty old.
yeah.
Like
He's
he
like
doesn't
70.
look
It's like
he doesn't
73, I think.
yeah, he doesn't look that old, but you've done it your whole life.
Yeah.
Lay it out.
If you're
So
if you're Jim Harbaugh, do you stay at Michigan or do you take a NFL job?
everything that I have heard or read about this, he's going NFL.
Well, the one job that he should take is not available. The Bears are keeping Matt Eberflus. What a fucking dumb idea that is.
Bears are a disaster right now.
Um,
I'm kind of interested in seeing how they handle Justin Fields and what they choose to do in this next draft.
I think Caleb Williams is overrated personally.
I also do, but some idiot's going to draft him.
Yeah. I really like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Drake May, I think, has a little bit of Mitch Trubisky in him.
I
Maybe
think
that,
he I think he could be good, but I think he's going to have time to grow into the
yeah,
position in the NFL.
yeah. JJ McCarthy didn't show me anything that I didn't already know about the guy.
He's good. I
But
don't know how he's going to I
he's a
don't know
game
how he's going to go.
manager.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to do in the NFL. And same with Penix. I think Bo Nix is a fucking rock star.
But
In fact, I hope that's who the Vikings draft.
Bo Nix might be the quarterback in this draft.
Yeah.
Eh, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it helps that he's already 26.
Yeah, I know. What the hell? Um did you watch the Golden Globes at all?
No. I know Joe Coy hosted kind of,
Yes.
and he pissed off Taylor Swift. Well, no,
Yes.
she gave Joe Coy RBF. Um,
He had some horrible jokes, but he also only had 10 days to prepare. Remember
well,
that.
yeah, and like when you do these, you don't write them. The only one that did write his own jokes was Gervais, and that's why he kept coming back. Is they're like, well, he doesn't give a shit. He's at
And,
least entertaining, and he's making it, and he's getting views.
and I think he got canceled or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I know
Who
he's got some people come on there.
I can't keep track of the cancellations anymore. I can't do that. Who are
Yeah,
we not supposed to cheer for? Who are we supposed to cheer for? I don't know.
yeah. You tell me who to cheer for. I'm gonna cheer against them.
Yeah.
That's usually how that works.
This week has been a crazy week for people attacking other people on podcasts. Katt Williams. Holy shit.
Did you know he can run a 4.340?
And that he once read 3,000 books at the age of 7.
3,000 books in a year. Dude, how many AR points is that? Like pulls back the time I whooped your ass in first grade at AR points.
You beat me by half a point. Come on.
Hey,
Uh,
the details are redundant. I won.
Oh my god. But
But yeah,
that was
that
a
whole he's only
crazy.
he's only like 5'4", and
Yeah.
he runs faster than Tyreek Hill. Get the fuck out of here. Although it was entertaining.
I do love how he just shit on like Ricky Smiley uh for pretty much the entire thing. And the entire time I was like, who the fuck is Ricky Smiley? I don't know who that is.
I still don't know. How long
Yeah.
did he rant for? 2.5 hours?
2 hours and 46 minutes.
Yeah. I didn't watch
Um
the whole thing. I just watched the highlights.
I'm like halfway through. Um so I haven't even gotten to the part where he's talking about Kevin Hart not selling out anything. Meanwhile, I've been to a sold out Kevin Hart show in Fargo, but that's besides the point. I think he's a little jealous that Kevin Hart basically is what he used to be.
Or what he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he is bigger than Katt Williams. Now, that being said, I like Katt Williams' humor more than
I
I
did.
like Kevin Hart's humor.
Okay. Okay.
I think Kevin Hart's a lot better actor.
Yeah.
Uh, but, you know, ultimately, and you hear this with comedians, like most of them aren't jealous type.
Yeah.
Like they want you to be successful. They also want to be successful themselves. But there's room for everybody. I could Katt Williams seems like the kind of personality that would be not on board with that.
Yeah. He also hated on I think Cedric the Entertainer was one that I saw, which okay, I understand that. Um I'm not a big Cedric the Entertainer guy myself.
Not a
And he
Steve Harvey fan.
not a Steve Harvey fan either.
Loves those blue collar boys.
Oh yeah, he loves Bill Engvall,
Yeah.
which is the funniest thing.
I didn't see that coming.
But my favorite part of the entire interview, because Faison Love was Big Worm in the first Friday, and
Right.
Shannon Sharp loves Faison Love because of that role, and Katt Williams goes, You associate yourself with losers. I did not expect that from you." I love that quote. It's actually it was you unnaturally associate yourself with losers. I did not expect that from you.
Or cats.
Um, and then tonight, as we're recording this, Stephen A. Smith uh had about an hour's worth of just bashing Jason Whitlock, who during like I think it was like New Year's Day or something like that. Jason Whitlock looked at the NFL standings on ESPN.com, and the ad that was above the ESPN standings was an ad for like a Timu like sex thing or something like that. But anyways, yeah, Jason Whitlock, I don't like him either. But
Okay.
yeah, shout out Stephen A. Smith for just going off today.
Well, he's probably gonna go off if the Cowboys choke him
Oh yeah.
on the game too.
Um, did
This is the
you
pregame.
did you pay attention to any of this Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Kimmel stuff?
No, I saw that they're feuding, and that's why Pat McAfee won't have him on the show anymore.
No, no, he won't have him on the show anymore because Aaron Rodgers' season is over. Aaron Rodgers is done for the year on his show. He usually stops appearing on the show after his NFL season is over.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, they're feuding because it's been for a while. They've been going back and forth about anti-vax and immunization, and then you know the whole Epstein thing. Which can I just say this? I'm gonna piss off some people here by saying this. If you're one of the people that's like rooting for people to be on the Epstein list, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What do you mean rooting?
Like there are people that are like, oh, I hope this guy isn't on this like, or like if you're like just like, oh my God, I can't wait for the Epstein list. I can't wait to see if like Tom Hanks is on the Epstein list. All these people, Chris Tucker. I can't wait for Chris Tucker to be on the Epstein list. Like, why are you like there are kids that are being abused. What the hell are we doing? Who ca-
I don't
who
know.
ca- who cares who's on that list? Kids were abused.
Yeah, I wonder people just don't like Chris Tucker that much.
Well, and then it's like who's on that list, I don't think is as important as the kids who were abused. The kids are the victims in this situation.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like giving any credence to the whole Epstein thing. I don't like thinking about it or talking about it. So I had the same issue with that Sound of Freedom movie
I
this
just,
past
I just,
summer.
I just don't really know enough about it, uh, other than like what, like I glimpsed at it.
It's an uncomfortable topic to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're two idiots as well. Like
Yeah.
we're not, we're not really taught up to
Yeah.
talk about heavy topics.
Um, so I mean we talked already about Nick Saban. What's your thoughts on Pete Carroll also retiring?
Oh, did he retire too?
Well, he's out as the coach at in Seattle. He's going to stay on as an advisor, but yeah, he's done in Seattle.
I've never been a Pete Carroll fan, so I say good.
And then Mike Vrabel got fired today.
Really?
Yes, from the coach of the Titans
Oh,
on the
I saw that. Yeah.
on the
Mike Vrabel.
possibility that another coach who's probably just waiting for the right time to announce his retirement. Do you expect him in New England?
Vrabel?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think he feels like a natural successor to Belichick.
Darth Vader. I don't think he's the guy for them. I could see him at the Seahawks. I kind of wondered if Harbaugh was going to go to New England.
I don't know I don't know if that's really his bag, so to speak. I don't know if that's his kind of area.
I don't know anything about him except he's a
Ha-
secret agent, man.
Harbaugh being in Seattle would be very funny considering how that 49ers Seahawks rivalry played out. That's
Yeah.
just
Also,
my thing.
I don't think he's a fan of Pete Carroll to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Shout out to one of my favorites on the internet, Jersey Jerry, who had a 40-hour stream the other day last week where he was on a golf simulator and yeah, 40 straight hours. I mean, yes, he did take a nap and had some IVs and stuff in the middle of this stream, but yeah, shout out to him. Do you think there's anything that you could do for 40 hours straight?
I work. I've worked 40 hours straight before.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty awful. But
Yeah.
I no, like something like I can't play bass or guitar for 40 hours because my fingies will bleed.
Yeah.
Can't wrestle for 40 hours because I'm tired after 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't eat for 40 hours. I'm not that big. I can't sleep for 40 hours because I get restless. Uh, so no, I don't think there's anything I can really do for 40 hours. I could
Um,
probably watch TV for 40 hours.
a couple of internet things, a few internet things. Um, Sorry to kind of just jet off of your your thing there, but
I was done.
okay. But a couple of a few internet things. I asked you to look up this Bass Pro Shop guy. Have you
Yeah, you
seen?
asked me to do that at work
Oh, I
on a
didn't.
government computer.
I didn't
So
know.
no, I didn't watch it, but I did hear about it. Apparently, the
Okay.
guy's got a penis.
Yes. We have a new member in the Small Peen gang. It's this
What do
guy.
you mean we?
Uh,
You and Bryson, maybe.
oh, okay. At least we know you're packing now. Um. So congratulations, Ian. Um.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans. It's like Casper mattresses.
But yeah, this guy jumped into. We can't show it on the video for obvious reasons. But he jumped into the Bass Pro Shop fish tank at a Leeds, Alabama Bass Pro Shop, and
Did they ever figure out why he did it? Was he a high?
he might have been a little
Was he
challenged.
methed out?
He might have been,
Oh,
yeah. So
gotcha.
yeah, that's the unfortunate part, but still, the internet went wild because most of the comments were like, "Where's his dick?"
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I remember hearing you were gone by this point. I think I was in sixth grade, but in eighth grade, well, no, I was in sixth grade, but the eighth grade class went on a field trip that was notorious. They
Okay.
took that. I think it was this class. They took so it was like Lee Comp and Brandon Manger and that class to Mitchell, and they go to the cultural heritage site and do all that stuff, and that's cool. But then they stopped at Cabela's, and there were kids climbing on the mountain goat structures, climbing up the mountain, the Cabela's mountain. And it's like when I heard this Bass Pro thing, I'm like, that must have been a fucking field trip because I totally could have seen Brandon Manger jumping in that fish pond.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, and the crazy part about the entire thing is the cops arrested him, and they have him in handcuffs. Meanwhile, they're in a shop that has clothes. You couldn't just like loan the guy some like clothes to make sure that you hide his penis, his non-existent penis.
Man, they took him to jail naked.
Yes,
Oof.
yeah,
Oof.
um,
They probably give you like a blanket or something at
something,
jail.
yeah.
Or they probably have stuff in a cop car. I'll ask my buddy that. I have a friend who's a cop.
I believe this was a wild weekend. That was just the first thing of a wild weekend in, I think, the South. I think this might have been in Alabama or Mississippi. Let me pull up this video here. Um, Let me see here. Yep. All right. And there's this guy in Mississippi who got stuck in a vase at or Alabama that got. You seen this? Uh, what what's your thoughts on that guy getting stuck?
Uh, I think my favorite part is that they're still playing "Shoot" by Salt and Pepper in the background. That shit's fucking epic. I like that video a lot.
The guy's just like stuck in the vase, like I'm stuck. God damn it.
I'm doing everything I can. What more do you want from me? I got Salt and Pepper singing to me. I can't
Um,
shoot to whoop out of the vase.
yeah. And then we also have let me uh pull this one up here. We also had this video, which I will not share the sound on this one, but have you seen this one of the judge getting attacked um in Nevada? Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
Just just
Whoa.
high jumped over, and then everybody is going nuts. They're going nuts here on this man.
Wow, that's a punch. That guy just
Yeah, and just wait,
haymaker him.
just wait. Here comes the craziest part here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here.
What is he punching his butt?
I don't.
What's the lawyer doing? I assume that's a lawyer.
Yeah, I don't know what they were sentencing that man for, but yeah, that happened as
Wow.
well.
Yeah, I wonder how much additional
Oh, he's
time he got for that. Oh,
he's
or if he got a life sentence, you might as well have fun with it.
yeah, he's getting a lot.
That
I'm
looked like
sure.
that kind of reminded me of when that one press guy threw a shoe at George W.
I forgot about that. That's always funny.
That's all it is. It's always funny.
Um, so I know that our draft idea kind of changed, but it is a new year. Do you have any resolutions?
I got a few. The first one is I need to eat more vegetables.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I gotta kind of reconfigure my diet a little bit. I'm healthy for the most part. Yeah, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape, but ultimately I'm not eating that many vegetables. So I gotta fix something there. And not for any reason other than I just know people say you're supposed to eat vegetables and I don't eat that many. So
Oh yeah.
that's the big one. I might try to like see, if I can hit a couple 2-a-day workouts, see if I still got it. I'm going to Florida
Ooh,
in February for 3 weeks for firefighting.
okay.
Um, I got into an academy down there, so I'm doing a pretty intense 3-week training exercise down there. So I'm gonna see if I can, ultimately it's just be healthier.
Okay.
That's my ultimate resolution, and I feel like I am pretty healthy, but that's something that everyone can like strive for. Other resolutions, I don't know, be happier, uh, take more time off of work.
To kind
Um,
if you'll allow me to piggyback off of your be healthier thing, I need to get my back feeling good
I
again.
was surprised to hear that you had as many like that. That shit keeps my dad up, and
What?
he's 62,
Yeah,
63. But yeah, those back spasms, like if he when he gets those, he don't fucking sleep.
no. I that I mean they
Did you do anything to like cause that?
so my back has been fucked up since I uh injured it um at Evans Plunge in like 2008.
You
So
were a junior in high school.
I know, but like my alignment and everything is off. I have scoliosis.
Okay, well that will do it.
Yeah. So yeah, but anyways, keep going with yours.
Maybe that should sit in a more aligned position for your back. That should be another one of mine. Because I, at one point, was working today and I'm making maps and shit. And I'm just like, this is where I'm at. I'm, I'm
You're
fucking,
almost
I'm,
you're almost
I'm right,
disappeared from the screen.
I'm right here. And my boss is like, hey, did you watch that? Where'd you go? And so maybe I need to like get better I need to get better at sitting.
Okay. Eh,
Uh, Yeah, I think that's like those are pretty good resolutions for me. I'd like to get good or get okay at golf.
Okay.
Um, I'm
That
at that age where it's
that's a
like,
humbling
well,
sport.
I know it is. But there's something so satisfying about just fucking smashing a ball with the driver, and I'm dog shit with my irons. So the club I got is a hybrid, so maybe I won't be as bad now.
What's your
But
short game?
I play a lot of putt putt. I've been
Okay.
playing putt putt pretty consistently every summer. About every other weekend. So I'm happy Gilmoreing my way through this thing.
Speaking of Happy Gil, there's a real person called Happy Gilmore.
That's not that surprising.
He's actually a golfer at Ball State right now.
Oh, nice. What are your resolutions?
I will get to my resolutions after the this little break that I'm gonna self-impose right now.
Okay, I need to charge my phone anyway.
All right. All
So
right.
anyway, that's why I really like squatty potties because they rhyme with Scotty toddies.
You know that's a very good spot that I a note for my production on the audio side. That's a very good spot to put the Tristan Spencer interview that I just did earlier today.
You should definitely do that.
Um, by the way, shout out to Tristan Spencer for coming on the show. Um,
Yeah, I watched him this last weekend. He's a hell of a wrestler. I give him all the credit in the world. I hope he wins it all this year.
yeah. Um, but anyways, my resolutions, I have a few. Um, I always say this every year. It's always my goal to read a book a month.
How about 3,000 a year?
I'm not putting up Katt Williams numbers, but I just need to read more. I need to stop playing video games as much.
Like ultimately, I think if it makes you happy, do that. So
Yeah,
if you enjoy video games,
I do.
do that because
Okay.
mental health is very important and it doesn't get stressed enough. Um,
That that that
but
that that said,
reading,
I also want to watch more movies. And I have like so many movies. I don't know how I'm gonna watch all of these
dude,
movies.
this might be like my least 2023. I didn't watch a ton of movies.
I
That was
didn't
a
either.
light year for me. And I went to the theater maybe once.
I did too, and I watched two movies in the same day. It was Barbie and Oppenheimer.
I went to Hunger Games.
Oh God, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes or whatever that is.
Yeah,
How was that?
awful.
Okay. There's no Katniss in that, right?
There is no cat piss. I didn't like it. I thought
Okay.
it sucked.
Um, drink more water on the old just make more healthy like choices.
Sure.
Um, but on the also work out a little bit more like yourself. But also I didn't do nearly as many Scotty's Crunchy critiques as I wanted to last year, and I should probably get into doing more of those.
Well, especially if you're gonna like be reviewing candy and all hot sauce and all the stuff that you got, you should probably be working out more.
Yeah. Um, I want to finish The Sopranos. I'm on season two.
Have you
Um,
seen that before?
I saw the last episode. I've seen a couple of other episodes. Like, our family had HBO very briefly when I was a kid. So I caught like a couple of episodes, but I've never done like a full straight through rewatch.
Sure.
Um, I've actually never seen the Pine Barrens episode, which I've heard is the greatest episode of television.
I don't know. I haven't seen The Sopranos. I have HBO.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
I got my
Um,
own account.
oh, you do now?
Yeah. I have
Okay.
for a while. However, thank you for the Peacock account. Now I can watch the Queefs.
Ah, yeah. Um, and then finally, I want to get some good guests on the show. There is talks of one Coach Slice coming on the show,
Good, get him on.
and
He's a big Mountain Dew fan. He likes streaming too. He's got a pretty. I see. Feel like I watch every TikTok he has. I mean, I don't have TikTok, but I do. He posts some of them on Facebook, and yeah, he posted a stat saying that it's the 58th year consecutively that the Vikings haven't won a Super Bowl.
yeah.
So that guy loves sports. You love sports. I think it'd be a great match.
And here's a little fun fact that I didn't realize when you had brought him up because you said coaching at Belfouche and stuff. I didn't realize he was a coach at Black Hill State when I was at Black Hill State.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I think he's one of Tommy's coaches.
Yeah, yeah. He's potentially coming on here. There's also talks potentially of getting Danny Woodhead on the show.
But the what talks? Like you posted it on Facebook?
I did, but I know some people who know some people.
I mean, Shannon State is only an hour away from me. I don't know where he lives, but
He
I'll
lives.
go find him.
I
I have a
I I,
dentist appointment on Tuesday.
I think he lives in Omaha. Last I checked.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's a really big golf guy too. Um,
Oh, he can go golfing with me.
yeah, I think he qualified for the U.S. Open or something like that. Which is pretty impressive for somebody that for years was not a golfer. Like he was a football player.
Some
Um,
athletes.
yeah. More athletes, just more interesting people. Um, you know, I mean, obviously, I always want to have you on whenever I can.
I love it, and I need it.
Yes.
I I need the social interaction. Otherwise, I'm just hang out here with my imaginary animals.
Um, and we've kind of talked about this plenty of times. We need a full Mr. Muirhead episode.
Yeah, get him on, man.
I don't know how we would ever do that, but we need a full Mr. Muirhead episode.
I know a guy that can talk to him. I know you posted it, and it probably won't happen for a little bit, but I think you probably could get Polar Bear on.
You think so?
Yeah, the Nash is super chill, and I'm not trying to pressure him into it. I know he's not listening,
I know.
but he is a really nice guy. You know, I've
And
enjoyed talking with him when I do.
I've interviewed Manning before. I've
Well,
interviewed.
and Manning is solid as well.
Yeah.
He might be a fun guy to interview. Uh, you could, if these aren't working out, start small, go former athletes, former collegiate athletes. Get my boy Tommy on.
Oh man. That's another person. Dalton McCollum might be coming on the show at some point.
Cool. Get him on, get Coach Slice on, get Tommy on, get, you know, I've talked to Tyler Aldrich. Maybe he do it.
Ooh, but I mean, does he have time in between all the kids that he has? I mean, the kids take a lot out of you.
I mean, I've heard that. I
Yeah.
don't know. You reach out.
Um, you know, I I I did ask Coach Gardner to come on. He thought about it. He thought about it. I don't know if we'll ever get him on. We might be getting one of my sports guys from Fox Sports Rapid City on at some point. Matt Kearney. Um, he might be coming on. Um, I mean, there's plenty of people that I would love to have on.
Yeah,
Oh,
just for like little tidbits.
yeah.
Get local folks. Get Mike Kiefer. Get Casey Griffith.
I Kiefer hates doing interviews. I know
Well, I
that.
don't know. He might.
I
He
I
might. He
know
might not mind this.
I know that for a fact because I interviewed him once and he's like, "Do you really have to?"
Just call him a co-host for an episode
Oh
or
man,
a segment.
Casey would be a good one, mainly due to the fact that if I'm being honest, I don't remember Casey much when I was growing up.
Yeah, perfect. Talk to him.
I
Get
remember
him on.
I remember Jeremy way more than I remember Casey,
Sure.
and that's probably the
Um.
Casey's older, right?
Well, I'm not sure, but I do know he is a Lyman legend. So
That's true.
get him, and he's one half of the Matt Bros with the big throws, which is how I closed out the live stream.
Okay. Um,
Matt Bros with the big throws. Yeah, and
do you think
he's well spoken. He talks. He's a good talker. Get him on.
Kellen would come on?
Yeah, of course he would.
Okay. Rory, do you think he would?
I'm not sure if Rory would. You might have to get Louis as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Also, I mean, I got Trey on. I have to get Coach Lewis on at some point.
I got a story for you. I'm not gonna tell it now, but I will say you should get uh Trey's sister on.
Oh, Abby.
She
Okay.
won. She's a freshman, I think, and she just won her 100th match at the Mid-Dakota
She
Monster.
might be a sophomore. I'm not
Oh, is
sure.
she? I thought when Chad did that announcement, I thought it said she was a freshman. But either way, 100 wins by that point in your career, that's
Yeah.
that's impressive too. Get her on it, have her talk about South Dakota girls wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely go for her.
If Bryce Seiler can ever figure out technology, he's invited on. He doesn't know technology though.
Those damn Marion kids.
Wyatt might need to get him situated on that. By the way, did you see that crazy like have you ever like done like a deep dive on old state wrestling tournaments and just looked at brackets?
Yeah,
Looked at the top 8
yes, I have.
and been like, holy fuck, I know all of these people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that you do when you're old and retired.
Yeah. So our and I noticed um when I pitched this idea, I think we've done this before.
I thought we might have.
This draft idea because it's pet peeves slash grievances is what I'm going to
I thought we
put it
might have
at.
done this before, and I almost said something, but I also feel like
Yeah.
we had done resolutions before.
Yeah. But we've cause I remember distinctly having a rant about putting your card away. Um,
Yeah, I do remember that rant.
yeah, but I mean, things have changed. We might have some new viewers, and
We're in our 30s.
yeah, we're in our 30s now, which when we started this, I was also in my 30s, I think.
I was in my 20s, so
Yeah. Yeah,
you know.
this is gonna sound like a weird thing because this is a random off-topic thing. How many birthdays do you remember? Like without looking on Facebook?
Well, I have the benefit of having an August birthday, and with the profession that I chose to go into, I'm usually gone. But I remember every fire I've ever been to. So therefore, I remember at least 8 or 9 birthdays through that. I
I,
remember going to see a concert. I remember seeing movies on birthdays. Birthday parties, I don't. That's where it gets fuzzy. Sub 12, sub 10.
no, I'm
It's pretty rough there.
I'm not talking like your birthday. I'm talking like other people's birthdays.
Oh well, probably could have clarified that, Scotty, before
Sorry.
I other people's birthdays.
Yes,
I don't know,
because
every ex-girlfriend.
I remember yours.
I remember going to McDonald's for one of yours.
Okay. I remember your birthday because I went to a WCW Monday Nitro on your birthday.
Oh, yeah. See, there you go. It's because it's not even like birthday like that make you remember it. It's like what you were doing on that
Yeah.
day. So,
And I think I brought
um,
you back a
uh,
Goldberg or a Stone Cold Steve Austin beat 'em up buddy or
I
something like
I
that.
think I think it was Stone Cold. Maybe it was
Yeah.
Goldberg, but yeah, it was like an inflatable like punch the thing over. It's like a weeble wobble.
Yeah. I remember my birthday. I remember all of my siblings' birthdays. I remember my mom's birthday. I remember my dad's birthday. And then I remember John and Ethan Jarding's birthday. And that's about it.
Sure.
Yeah. Which if they ever got on the show, we might get taken off the air. that they have some stories about college Scotty that shall not be repeated.
Well,
Um,
Ethan is like, he's in the same profession that I am.
he's taken a year off from that.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess they call him Kip.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be a good guy to talk to.
Um, but anyways, pet peeves slash grievances, like things that kind of annoy you overall,
That's
kind of thing.
that's the draft topic.
Is that okay with you?
That's okay with me.
I'm gonna give you first pick.
All right. Give me 1 second while I pull my phone up. Um, okay, so I think my number one pet peeve, and I almost got into it earlier, but it's people that treat podcasts essentially like scientific written documents. It's like, I heard this on a podcast. It's like, you didn't hear that doesn't matter. That means nothing. You heard someone else's opinion that counts for absolute shit. And
Yep.
I don't care if it's NPR or if it's Scotty Knows. It's a fucking podcast, not a lit reviewed document. So
Yes.
knock it off with quoting podcasts, unless it's us. But
Yes.
it does drive me up a fucking wall when they're like, I heard this person survived this on this podcast. I heard this person did this on this podcast. And it's like, that's everything is just, you know, oral regurgitation from something they probably read off Wikipedia. So cool it with that. So that's my number one.
Okay. Um, I enjoy I like that. There's something in education that you hear about, but I don't think a lot of people even read or know how to find them. Peer review journals. Do you know about peer review journals?
Dude, I'm in grad school. I know all about peer reviewed journals.
Yeah, I don't even know where the first place to find one of those is.
Uh libraries, but it's like electronic libraries. So I could not go to the Presho library or the fucking Northern State Library and go find a peer reviewed article. But you can, like, it's basically Google. So
Yeah.
you log on to a college website and you go to their library and you type something in and it pops up and it's peer reviewed. It's got the literary sites, like it's certified. So notice
Okay.
how no podcast ever do that.
Yeah. Um, my number one, my first overall pick is earpiece talkers. I hate earpiece talkers. They'll come into the store, walk around, they'll just look like they have conversations with themselves and like what are you doing? Stop talking to yourself. What are you doing? And they'll come up to the till and be like, like say something in their earpiece, and it's like, are you talking to me? Like, are you more concerned with your conversation? Why, like, end your conversation before you come up to like a cash register.
So riffing right off that, I don't know what it is about white AirPods. I fucking hate them. Because that's the same reasons that you just explained. I just like it's like what is so fucking important with your white goddamn AirPods? I have black ones, so I don't feel like I'm at fault here. But
You don't see color.
all I see is gold.
And my number two pick is cracking knuckles. I can't stand it when people crack their knuckles.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that about you.
You son of a bitch. You.
All
Um,
right, so yeah, go ahead, talk about that if you want.
yeah, I mean, it's just, like, what are we doing? Like, it's a grating. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I don't like it.
Okay. I get that. I've never been turned off by that because and I'm kind of interested that to see why you are, because you're at the same age that I am, which means every morning when you wake up, everything in your lower body pops like a bag of kernels at the bottom of a popcorn bag.
Yeah.
Everything pops.
Yeah, it
Everything
does.
cracks. Dude, my
Yeah.
my knee, I think my ankle, there are nights where my ankle pops or cracks almost every step.
Oh yeah.
So I guess it's mine now. I recently thought of this one. The folks listening will get it. It's people that wear sunglasses inside,
You can put them on backwards.
upside
Um,
down.
yeah.
So I had a friend at one point that told me there are two kinds of people in this world that wear sunglasses inside, and it's Stevie Wonder and assholes. So if you're wearing
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
sunglasses
whoa, whoa,
inside,
whoa.
what the fuck are you doing?
Are you calling Corey Hart an asshole?
Sure am.
He wears his sunglasses at night though.
I know he is. That's even
But
worse.
by the way, shout out to you and Casey for the Timbuk 3 reference.
Dude, I have a great time commentating with Casey.
Yeah.
I think that kind of shows, but yeah, I
Uh,
solid time.
but
I like to think we're some of the best commentators in the state, and
I,
I'm waiting for that contract.
I was just about to say and I tweeted about this. Um,
Oh, it tweets. You
yes.
X'd?
Yes, I X'd. I said that whoever, because I didn't know it was you at the time. I didn't know it was Casey at the time, but I
Did you really
said
not?
I didn't. I didn't recognize your voice.
Oh shit. Well, we need to do more podcasts, I guess.
I know. But I was like, whoever's on Matt 2 and Matt 1 on uh at the Monster, um they uh they sound more educated and knowledgeable about the sport of wrestling than most people that I hear
Well,
commentate on wrestling on these live
that
streams.
that does something for this old ticker. So thank you. That's very flattering, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and you do like a lot of people um like Brian Oakland, he's very good at it as well. He does it on the radio. Here in Pier.
Mhm.
Um and I appreciate that, but like a lot of people they'll commentate wrestling and they'll not quite know what's going on, but you guys know the names of the moves, you know some of the backstory of some of these people.
Well,
And it shows.
I think we have some awareness too. Casey and I are no strangers to watching matches online, and when the score is not shown on the stream or the timer, it helps to have that information, spat at you every once in a while. So I ultimately I feel like both he and I are pretty good about that. So waiting on that Flow Wrestling contract.
Yeah. Um
My number three now, right?
yes.
So it's gonna go right along with yours. It's people that fucking talk on speakerphone in the
God
grocery
damn it.
store.
Oh, god damn it. I had that on mine.
I, like, are you trying to include everybody in the store in your conversation? And I've caught several that are definitely not NSFW and certainly not NSFGS, not safe for a grocery store. Yeah, that's right. Um, it really, I just like, you're opening the floodgates for any like teenage kid or high schooler to just go cock, nuts, wiener, and basically just a Tourette's outburst. And I've never done it, but I'm all for anybody that will.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
that's my number three.
I agree with that one wholeheartedly.
I almost took that one overall.
My number three, and I've talked about this before. I mean, this is kind of along the lines of, obviously, the grocery cart, leaving your grocery cart out in the parking lot. This also annoys me. And this is the multiple cart grocery shoppers.
Yeah,
People,
you had a rant about this on Facebook a little while ago at Walmart.
yes, yes. Well, part of that was due to the fact that they had two lanes open. But even if you don't have two lanes open, what are you doing with multiple grocery shopping carts full of just, and it's all like uniform, like the same shit in all the grocery carts? Like, are you buying for an organization? If so, buy it wholesale, get it at like Costco, get it at
Hey,
Sam's Club.
look, man, you know where you're not close to any of those.
I know, and I want Pier to fucking invest in their town, but then people are like, "Oh, that's too much money. Like, we can't." It, Pier's afraid of growth.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, so I mean, they are. They're afraid of growth. I mean, I put it out there that I wanted a burger battle or some sort of food thing competition in this town, and nobody's doing anything.
All right, Pierre, there's your challenge.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, but like, yeah, multiple cart grocery shoppers. What the hell are you doing? And I've heard that a lot of it is food stamps. There's better use for food stamps than taking up three shopping carts.
I wasn't there. I can't confirm nor deny. I have opinions just like you on this, but I'll hold them for now.
Okay. And my number four, this is a this is something that I feel like there there are not as many of these around, but cash only establishments piss me off. What are we doing?
No, I think that's fair because a square thing only costs about $20, I think. But you do have to go through the transaction fee and you do have to go through all the setting up of where the money goes after it goes into the square.
Yeah.
Um
And if
and for a
the
lot of older folks, and Bryce, the technology is scary. Just a little callback there. But technology is scary. It's kind of tough sometimes. So I do get it, but I also understand like where your frustration is coming from because nobody fucking carries cash anymore.
not as many people do, I don't think. No. But well, a surprising amount of people do, but then they do, and it's like $100 bills, and then you get called a cunt in the store because you
Welcome to
can't.
working at a gas station, Scotty.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that's the name of the game.
By the way,
People are gonna pay in hundos.
by the way, I apologize to your parents for my language there. Um, they're probably
They
watching.
they've tuned out at this point. We've been going
Okay,
for a while.
yeah. Um,
Actually, they might be watching it. My dad's probably watching something on World War II at this point, though.
yeah.
Okay, so we're at me now. I'm gonna say my number four is people that, well, not maybe not people. It's just when people are on the phone at dinner.
Okay.
That does irritate me quite a bit. Put the fucking phone down. If it buzzes, go ahead, take it, whether it's a call, a text, or whatever, an email, Snapchat, that's fine. But you don't need to be checking through your Instagram reels or your TikToks at the dinner table. I'm trying to fucking hang out with you and do something with you. Get off your goddamn phone.
I don't even have Facebook or Twitter on my phone anymore. I have it on the browser on my phone, but I don't have the apps on my phone anymore.
Okay.
Um, so the likelihood of me doing that is not great.
Well, and
Um,
honestly, I feel like it's gotten better, but I know every once in a while I'll go out to dinner with a friend or whatever, and they're just fucking on their phone, just scrolling. It's like, are you even fucking here to hang out with me, or are you like you could have done this at your house?
yeah.
So
But by the way, that reminds me, we need to like do dinner or drinks or something one of these days.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we do. We need to actually like meet up in person.
No, I'm all for that. I was
Um,
disappointed that I was out of town when you came for your basketball game,
yeah.
and then
Number f
you were working during the Monster. So I
yeah.
think I'm on my number five now. Before you
Yep.
cut me off.
Sorry, my bad.
No, it's all good. This actually works out really well. It's people that will ask you something, and then you start talking, and then they start talking right over you. So you played into that real well, actually, on this little drafty draft we're doing. Uh, but yeah, it's like, did you even want my opinion, or did you just want an excuse to talk? Like you were kind enough to extend the offer, and you were not kind enough to actually allow me to, articulate what I feel on this. So I've worked with people, I work with people that do this. I know a lot of folks that do. Um, it's rude. And I almost put down rude on my list, just rude people. But I thought that was too vague. So, and for the record, I don't think you're rude. And I'm glad you actually did it because comedically it worked out great. But that is my number five.
Damn you, Stephen A. Smith. You've had too much of an impact on me.
Well, no, exactly. It's shows like that where the talking heads will just like go over each other and nothing gets said. Everything gets lost. So, allow and it's politics, it's sports, it's just opinions. Allow the person to like actually, say what they mean, and then you can go for a rebuttal, you can counter it, or you can agree, or you can do anything else. It's just a conversation is a two-way street, right?
Yep.
Use it as that.
My number five pick is and this is kind of because I've worked in like customer service for the past almost year and a half, 2 years. And it's the person that holds up the line. Maybe they see something at the register that they want, and like lottery ticket people, they do this all the time.
Oh yeah, dude. And working at a gas station, check writers.
Oh yeah. Yep. But lottery ticket people, they'll do this all the time. They'll be like, "Okay, I want this," and it's like, I don't think we have that, you know. Um, but not only that, but the people that do um multiple transactions in one like swoop, get them out of my face.
Right.
Yeah, so
No, I get that.
people that hold up the line, and I'm sure like I don't have a problem with couponers either, but if
No,
you
man,
have like
save a buck where you can.
yeah, but like if they're like trying to get their phone to work for the coupon and they're just like taking forever because the internet sucks or something like that in like a given location,
Sure.
if you're behind that person, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people that hold up the line, yeah, not a fan of them.
There you go. There's the draft. Got
Do
any
you
honorable mentions?
I do. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I have overly biased fans who think their sports team can do no wrong. Overly biased fans who think their favorite elected government official can do no wrong. I also have leg day, and then I also just wrote down this. I meant to say I love you too to my dad, but I accidentally sent it to my dental hygienist. And that's not a pet peeve. That's just my fuck up. So
Are you
uh,
are you a glamour muscles guy?
a glamour muscles guy, like biceps, chest,
Yeah,
tries.
yeah.
I mean, I know what works, right? I'm not more of I'm more of a like I have a routine guy, and so I stick with that. But I would not say I'm a glamour muscle guy.
Okay. So
Are you?
my
Are is that a pet peeve of yours? Glamour muscles?
no, my no, but you just reminded me of a gym personality that I hate. And that is the guy that grunts at the gym like very overtly and loudly. I hate that guy.
Sure, sure. And we could do a whole podcast on a whole draft on gym guys that you
Yeah.
don't want to see.
Um so my honorable mentions are this is going to piss people off here. Religion pushers, people that say that, oh, God did this. Like, no. No, you just right time, right place. Like,
Sure, I totally, I think I get that.
yeah. Um chewing people that chew with their mouth open, get the fuck out.
I feel like that goes right back into rude.
Yeah. People that blast music in public, that's
That
that
one, I don't see it often, but if I had thought
I
of that,
do.
that probably would have made my list as well.
I do.
I fucking hate that.
People that clear their throat in a very disgusting and loud and obnoxious manner. The people that go like, like that.
You okay? What are you doing to that mic?
That's what they sound like.
Do it again. Ah, okay, I'm good.
You know what? You've
I
heard,
know I know what you're saying.
yeah.
Again, I feel like that's something I don't see a whole lot. But if
Um,
I did, it would be on my list.
people that will cut in line just to go to the register, when there's like already like five customers behind them, they'll just like go straight to the register.
I would say, yeah, oblivious people, which again felt a little too vague. But yeah, people that just have no situational awareness and also and just don't take into any account like what is considerate. Inconsiderate people is a huge pet peeve of mine. But it's like everybody, so
Excuse
I
me.
didn't have that.
And finally, and this is the main reason why, one of the main reasons why I don't go to the State 123 theater anymore. Children at the movie theater.
So I think every dude, well, probably every single person in their late 20s to 30s comes to the same realization. And I totally get it. 100%. And I feel like that's another thing, just being oblivious and it as even as a kid, you kind of know what's rude and what is polite. And being at the movie theater means you shut the fuck up and you watch the movie.
Yes.
And I 100% get that. I'm on board with it. I don't go to enough movies anymore, but I know for a while I was. You can't go to any goddamn Marvel movie
Absolutely not.
without having 12 kids sitting on one direction from you. So I get it. I'm on board with that pick.
That,
That would have
that's
been a great pick.
that.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, the movies were a big deal to me as a kid. And so I get it. when they're a big deal to the family for bringing the kids, but the kids are clearly not that interested. So no, I think that's a great pick.
I think I think that's kind of why now my tastes have gone from Marvel movies to like I don't want to say prestige dramas that kids won't, but like I went to Oppenheimer because I knew there was no chance a fucking 12-year-old kid would be at Oppenheimer.
Oh, for sure. And I was tired of Marvel movies. I felt like after Endgame, it was just be done with it for a while.
Yeah.
Then they kept milking that cow. I hate Disney. And also every kid fucking goes to those movies. So I'm right there with you, man.
Um Also if I have to say it on my podcast, if I have to scream it from the freaking mountaintops, if I have to somehow buy radio time on KCCR or DRG, I will say it until I'm blue in the face. For the love of God, give me the Iron Claw movie.
That might be a movie I go see this weekend, actually.
Really? Are
Yeah.
you aware of the story?
Oh, the Von Erichs, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Very tragic story.
That was the very first 30 for 30 I ever saw.
Was it a 30 for 30 or was it a Dark Side of the Ring?
No, it was a 30 for 30.
Okay. Okay. Actually, that might have been an E60 thing. Now that I think
Oh,
about it.
I think it was E60 actually.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
Kevin's the last remaining of the brothers,
Hmm.
and then Carrie has a daughter, Lacey Von Erich, and then Kevin
There's a
has two.
couple of Von Erich kids that are in
Yeah,
the circuit now.
yeah. Kevin has two of them, Marshall and Ross. They're very good. They're very
Okay.
good. Um, something that I don't think we talked about this last time you were on. CM Punk is back in WWE,
Yeah, he is.
and there's also The Rock is back in WWE, and he's apparently challenging Roman Reigns.
Nice. Nice. It's a match everybody wanted, I think.
Yeah, and also this was my favorite part of Monday Night Raw this past week. R-Truth, he created two new Mysterios. He because R-Truth, in case you don't know him, if you're
No
not
our
aware,
truth.
he's a very comedic character. He he created Tom and Nick Mysterio.
Nice. Love to see it. I want more
I want more
like
R-Truth. I love him.
yeah, and I was gonna say I want more ridiculous storylines in pro wrestling. I think our truth is a good start.
Yeah,
I want uh big, big boss man to steal a casket of someone's dead dad.
he's unfortunately no longer with us.
Yeah, I know he's not, but I want something like that.
Yeah, you want May Young giving birth to a hand.
Yeah, something like that.
You want the Attitude Era is what you want.
I want the attitude. That's all I want. I want the attitude era back. I want it now. I'll start watching again if that's the case. And yeah, I want the attitude era.
Well, WWE has started incorporating a little bit more blood into their matches, which is a welcome change. Um, but also like CM Punk adds a little bit of a interesting wrinkle into the like where are they going with this story?
I like
Kind
it.
of uh
Yeah, get the cult of personality in there.
Cody Rhodes, awesome. I like Cody Rhodes personally.
Yeah.
Um and I like Seth Rollins as well. An interesting guy. Um, I think WWE is on a hot streak right now, and AEW their uh their owner cannot stop tweeting. Shut the fuck up, Tony Khan.
You tell him, Scotty.
Well, I mean, he's not just the AEW owner. He's the son of your favorite football team
No.
owner. He's Shad Khan's son. He's part owner of the Jaguars, I guess. Tony Khan is.
Hmm.
They actually had a show at Daly's place, which is like right outside of the Jaguars stadium.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Um, Also, I don't know if you've seen this guy. Have you heard of MJF? You would love
No.
him. You would love MJF.
What's his
You
deal?
he's a he's a trash talking Jewish guy.
Okay.
Yeah. He gained fame by appearing on Rosie O'Donnell back in the 90s, and he does show tunes, and he wrestles his ass off. He was AEW champion for like almost a year, I think.
Yeah. Nice.
Um but yeah, that's the show. Thanks for watching it. And Ian, do you have any final words?
Eat your vegetables because otherwise you're gonna end up buying Scotty potties.
You mean squatty potties?
No, I said
Okay.
what I said.
Okay. Uh yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.